The Smiling Faces podcast is now sponsored by TireSpot, the Northeast's leading tyre supplier with branches across the region. TireSpot don't just do tyres, they cover everything from servicing to wheel alignment. They can handle every aspect of your car's maintenance. For more information, visit tirespot.co.uk. Enjoy the episode. Hi everybody, welcome back to the Always Smiling Faces podcast on the GallowgateShots YouTube channel. As those that are watching live on YouTube can see, we have a full house, a full quartet tonight. It's myself, your host Chris, joined by Bestie, Decker and Mark. You two are matching tonight. Cap and hoodie on there.
Yeah.
You know what's up, Bestie?
Have you been watching?
Have you
watching the NFL? Watch out on Sunday.
No, I didn't watch because all the Thanksgiving games this week. I kind of thought Red Zone's going to be one or two games, so I didn't bother.
Oh, that was great.
Apparently, the Eagles game was really good. When lads at work was saying.
Overtime was amazing. But no, the new salute to service hoodies are this like I call it like wet sand type style.
Yeah.
Ochre. Yeah, I think is the which actually me hat is that, isn't it? Yeah. Well, I'd never double up like I never have this on that.
That's more brown than.
No, I'm not having it. No.
That's not
Yours
brown.
has got the mustard tint.
That's like a tan.
Oh yes, yeah.
But I wouldn't say brown.
I still wouldn't wear them both together.
It's a beige where you have got a mustard tint in you.
Yeah.
That's probably just off the soup that you've dipped it in before you've.
Soup.
Apologies to those that are
Mustard
listening to the audio. But yeah, boys, we are here to look back over the Chelsea game, which Newcastle absolutely dismantled them.
Hold on a minute.
What? Sorry, what?
Hold on a minute.
What?
We've completely started this podcast incorrectly.
Well, I'm going to get on to that.
Let's get on to it.
Well, we'll
Immediately?
get on to that. We'll get on to that. But yeah, what we are going to be talking about is going to be the Chelsea game. A couple of tweets from the owners as well. I think we're going to have to discuss that one as well. And the upcoming trip to Paris. But before we do that, Decker, say the magic words.
Well, wouldn't you know? Get in.
I love it how we first used to start with beers when we're doing that. And now
now
we've
it's
got
like
mugs
a
full
kind
of
of-
pop.
Very
Sugar-free
professional.
pop.
Sugar-free pop.
It's not
like
tea, coffee, I know.
Sugar-free Aldi pop at that.
You put some whiskey in it. Like.
I'm on the spring water.
How we've changed. We're just becoming used to winning, Decker. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it feels like a while since I've said that. Maybe a national break. Maybe that's what it is. No, I never get tired of saying it. Like I'll be honest with you. And I remember joking when I started saying it as a daft laugh before. Even when we get good, if we ever get good, I'll never get sick of it. So, and especially you're not going to get sick of saying it when you thump a team like Chelsea. Just incredible. Like just honestly, high as a kite for days. Like to be honest, well, it's only been 2 already. But like,
Do you know what it is? I don't think I've got a full month without hearing somebody apart from you saying we won, you know? They're just in and around town or something like that.
Well, when I'm at the match, I'm like, I'll walk just along the street or maybe walking to Shivas or anywhere, and someone will shout it like, "Won you now?" And I'm like, "Are you?" Like it's like it's a weird thing to shout at someone. But people who don't know will be like, "What is he shouting that for?" Like, you know what I mean? No, but it's all good. It's all good.
But yeah, let's just jump straight in. Anybody who is watching live, as always, we will answer your questions towards the end of the show as well. So send in as many as possible tonight. Obviously, Mark, me and you were at the match.
We were?
On Saturday.
Yep.
Bessie, you were there as well. Saw you from a distance.
It's more than like a Dijon mustard colour.
From a distance.
Yes, I was there, so I saw you lads.
Yeah.
You didn't
From,
wave.
again, from a distance.
From a distance.
Probably
Or if
best-
you did
the
wave,
best
we
blood
didn't see
in
you.
I didn't. I was
Because I'd hate to have thought that I'd ignored you.
I was too engrossed in the football. Was I?
Obviously,
I couldn't go
obviously
'cause of
second
poorly
half.
child.
Yeah, and I got like well, not Wi-Fi signal. I got signal briefly in half time as well, so I was kind of making the most of that.
The Wi-Fi actually worked.
It didn't for me, ironically.
Did it not?
It was 5G. I got.
Oh, the Wi-Fi was actually working in the ground this week, which was decent. I know your opinion from the starting 11 because you won Yarras. We'll discuss it a little bit. Bestie, starting 11.
Mm-hmm.
Was that Eddie Howe just feeling what was available?
Yeah, I totally. When you look at what was on the bench, beg pardon, who was on the bench? What was on the bench sounds really dismissive.
No, it's factual.
Yeah, like 3 goalkeepers. Like was threat level said 3 goalkeepers. Richie,
Two
grown
veterans,
ups,
4 children.
4 kids and 2 grown ups on the bench. But yeah, like you look at that team, and what else could you have done? Like Miley in the middle. He knew exactly what we needed as well, as it turns out. And yeah, that was the kind of strongest. I don't even, it sounds it's strongest 10 plus Miley, but then Miley probably is the next. He looks on the evidence of Saturday to be a very good footballer. Like, so it was a good. It was when I saw the team, because I'd been a bit I'd fretted a bit about thinking like, oh God, I don't know who's left, and Bournemouth was still in my mind, and we're not a bad side. Or I was thinking, God, well, the bare bones. And when you look at the bench, we were, but then when you look at the first 11, I think, that's actually still a good team. That could have caused anyone trouble on Saturday, and so it came to pass. But like Miggy, Gordon, Isaacs that could be our first choice.
Yeah, I think you'd only
triumvirate up top, like
you'd only really see one change based on what we've got there, because Willock was quite a late one in the day that he dropped out.
Really
wasn't
late,
he?
yeah. He was in the program, the big interview in the program with Willock, so he was obviously expected to feature.
And then we obviously know back four wise, that's all we've got because of the injuries that we're suffering with. So
I was a little bit. I thought that he might have come with Livermore on the right and Trippier left, but I think Trippier was there to deal with Sterling.
Yes,
which he did very well.
Yeah. Well.
Do you not think he did?
Well.
I don't know. It's weird. I thought they both played well. I think Sterling. Yeah. I think the game changed when Sterling got booked. That seemed to be the point at which he lost his head, and then. But I thought Sterling was dangerous. Obviously, we'll come to the goal and all that, and his celebration and whatnot. But I thought Sterling played. He was a nuisance. Pretty much.
He was a nuisance, all right.
Yeah.
He's going to be the one. He's going to be. Like,
but he's experienced. He's a very, very good player on the season as well.
Nuisance.
He's having a really good season. He's done it for Liverpool, Man City. So he's done it for England. He's been around the block, and he's a good footballer. And he played well, I thought, particularly in the first half on Saturday. But him getting that yellow card, I thought that's when the game just seemed to spin all of a sudden, because we scored the first. We scored those 2 goals like about a minute later.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I think for me, having Isak back's just it's monumental, really, to be honest, at times. Because against Bournemouth, we didn't have a striker, so you have to, stick Gordon up there or even Joe Linton up there at times against Bournemouth. Having that focal point of him is just. I know he scored, and that's amazing. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is just having him on there. You know what I mean? Having him up front is so important. And I think I referenced this to Chris. Might have been Chris. I can't remember. I was talking. It might have been you. Your memory's terrible. I mean, he had 10 minutes, but I know Miley was great, and we'll get on to Miley. Absolutely deserves it, right? But having Bruno in there along with him, honestly, he makes anyone better. Like, if you think of Miley's performance, and he did well against Bournemouth, he played okay, but the midfield is just better when Bruno's on the field. It's so simple, like, you know what I mean? And I thought second half, I thought Bruno was outstanding. Like, to be honest, So it was a fantastic, great result, which we'll cover in better detail than that. But yeah.
So the first goal, Mark, out of nowhere, really, isn't it?
It was a lovely little move, like, to be fair, but it starts with an overhit ball out to Gordon, who
hits the back of his head.
Chases it, it's a strange one, isn't it?
He does well, though.
Does well to chase it down, get it, and then I think he's angling for a shot, really, isn't he, with the way he comes across the box, but it's not on, and then we do get a bit of good fortune because it goes into Joe Linton.
It's loose, isn't it?
I think he's trying to control it, and it just falls nicely to Miley, but hey, what a ball that is from him to pick out Isaac there, because it's just the way he plays it through and just enough pace, and his touch as well. He's actually touched it just to kill it, turn, and then almost hit it almost in one movement.
Yeah, the way he moves his feet after taking it, controls it, like lets it run through his legs just the right way.
Yeah,
it's perfect. But the ball by Miley, I remember watching it at the time, thinking like, he's done really well there. He's had a look and picked the pass out. It's a touch, look, pass. He's got less than a second to do it, and it's perfect. It's brilliant. It's the kind of the vision to do it. We've seen Longstaff do it a bit. Obviously, Bruno does it, not that to that level very frequently, but it was excellent. Really, really. I think Eddie Howe said afterwards, and we were saying it in the concourse maybe. At 17 years old, I have the presence of mind not to just go, I'm going to hit this.
Yeah.
At home, me first starting, I'm just going to hit this and see what happens.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I think you put any other 17-year-old in that position, he tries to shoot.
Yeah.
And
not even 17-year-olds. There's a
41
lot of midfielders with a lot more experience than he's got that would do that.
Especially with all the Gallowgate shouting shoot at him as well.
Yeah.
But it's not just that as well. If you look about the left-hand side, Bruno screaming for that ball off him as well. So Bruno wants it back.
Yeah, 100%. It was absolutely amazing. It was just well beyond his years, that pass. Like, it was beautiful. And to comment on Isak, the way he took it, sorted his feet out, was just incredible how he done that so fast and just effortlessly. He's got so much confidence in him in that area as well. Like you just know. You just know.
It was like time stood still though in the ground. You would have been the same. Bestie, obviously, from where your seat is as well. It just seemed like he had an abundance of time when he really didn't.
He had a lot
it
of
was just
space.
really quick thinking, wasn't it?
He had a lot of space,
everybody,
which is why obviously I think it's Cucurella's playing him on side, and he's a good couple of yards away
as well.
But yeah,
ironically though, in the ground, because I was convinced he was offside because of the way that because when he actually puts the ball in, he's in acres. There's nobody anywhere near him, and Cucurella's appealing straight away. But ironically, it's him playing him on.
Yeah, I didn't think he was. I thought he was more onside than he actually was, because I thought Cucurella was deeper again. But I saw it again. But yeah, it does feel like he's got so much time. But I think that's because of his quality. Yeah, and because of how good that touch is. If his touch is like, if someone who I was going to say like one of us with balls in the East Stand before you know it, but even a decent striker, but not quite as good as him, that ball, it might be a touch, then shoot. Whereas him, it's touch goal. Yeah. And it seems like he's got a lot of time because he doesn't need to take that much time.
Yeah.
You know, it was brilliant. It was a really good. But again, when he's squaring up to Sanchez, isn't it, the keeper, you just know.
But Sanchez thinks he's putting it the other side because he's going before he's even taken the shot.
I think he's just trying to make himself as big as he can because he one-on-one that kind of position as a keeper. Like if you save it, you're lucky.
I know we did touch on. I did want to reference again Gordon, how well he recycled it so well. He recycles possession amazingly well. And the ball, it goes out wide, but I love the way I've said it so many times. The way he comes inside, he can't really defend against it. Like really, he comes in so well, so fast to come back on himself. And I agree. He probably was trying to see if there was a chance of shooting, but he just played it inside. But it was really good recycling possession, I thought.
It was weird because when the ball came over, he ducks under it, hits the back of his head, and even then, he's not favourite to get that.
Nah,
he does the defender, and that if you look at it from like a Chelsea perspective, they'll probably be unhappy with that. The fact that I don't know who it was, the full back or centre half, whoever it is, that's on Gordon, like just seems to kind of be, oh well, I'll just get in the way between the ball and the goal instead of dealing with it. And Gordon he's that quick and that quick of thought as well as the movement that he gets it, brings it back inside, and then what happens. It's a hard butter, Joel, isn't it? Like, in fairness, maybe it was a shot.
It's only 10 minutes later, just a little bit more than that. Then Chelsea get the equaliser, and I think this has been a little bit of a discussion in our WhatsApp group. And I'll come to you, Decker. Mm-hmm. Was that a bit of a harsh free kick? So Trippier's decision to tackle Sterling, was that a free kick in your eyes? Because he gets booked for it as well. And the big talk at the moment is what class is a free kick, and then we'll go back to the Arsenal game and everybody moaning. Well, all Arsenal fans are moaning, saying Joel
still
moaning.
All
the Arsenal fans still moaning.
It was soft, right?
It's soft, yeah.
It's very soft, yeah. I'll jump forward for a second. What Reece James got sent off for his second yellow. I mean, I've watched it loads. I'm still not even sure there's a touch there personally. From what I've seen,
I said at the time that's never a send off.
The weird thing is, no one argues.
No, yeah, it's one of them, isn't it? As soon as he goes to ground, like
he knows. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't want to go away from the point because I am for a second, but I just feel Trippier's was also very soft. Yeah. And again, though Sterling's clever, isn't he? That he knows, like Gordon goes down. They just know these players. They just know the slightest touch or to angle the body in a certain way, and I'll go to ground.
But he knew he had nowhere to go, didn't he?
He knew.
He's running into a dead end or running into a defender, so he's waiting for any type of contact just so you can feel it and make the most of it.
It was one of them. The second it happened, I was like, "Oh fuck!" God. The second I seen him going to ground, you know what I mean? So I thought it was very soft. Personally.
I thought Trippier. I thought like foul him because you're not going to catch Sterling quick enough that Trippier's going to just foul him. Try and. If you get a yellow card, right, we'll take it. Obviously, you hope it's going to prevent a goal, which it didn't. But I at the time, people were like open arms about it, and I thought, well, it looks like one to me. I haven't seen it again since. I don't really know.
I know what you mean. I think in the moment when it happened, for all I'm saying, it's soft. I'm expecting a free kick to be given. Does that make sense? I'm expecting it almost a bit. Yeah, do you know that's exactly.
You're giving the referee the choice to make a decision, and he's giving a free kick all day long there. Like
I think it was clear from the reaction of the crowd at the time, and then for the rest of the game, what everybody's opinion was on it.
Well,
he's gone down very easily.
Sterling's one of those players anyway, and I think his reaction a celebration in front of the corner, kind of didn't do anything to repair bridges in that regard, did it? Like, Sterling's one of those players that does get abuse anyway. I remember, when he was playing really, really well at Man City, he shouldn't be playing for England because he's been excellent for a long time, Sterling. So he has always divided opinion with a certain section of society, shall we say. But it maybe was soft, but we were talking on WhatsApp the England game the other week when Harry Kane didn't get a penalty. Yeah. And we were saying Harry Kane, it's probably, you can see why it's been given because Harry Kane always steps in the way of a challenge. And that's kind of what Sterling did, what Gordon does quite a bit.
Yeah, Gordon's amazing at it, yeah.
He does it all the time.
That's why I'll never have a go at an opposition player, really, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Everyone's having a go at Sterling. Gordon does it every single time.
He does it all the time.
Every single
Bruno does
time.
it.
Was it Wolves away? I'm sure it was Wolves away. I might have been Wolves. Where he basically puts himself in the body of the goalkeeper. The balls that run out of play, he chases after it really well.
Was it Brentford at home?
Aye, and he makes the contact happen. If that makes sense. I hope I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
Like, and it's what it is. It's football. It happens. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of criticize Sterling for doing it when Gordon does it.
Yeah.
3 times a game. Like, I can't do that. Like,
what we haven't mentioned yet before that, I thought it was very, very poor by Lascelles. We lost.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
it was further up.
It comes from that.
In my memory, it's on the halfway line.
Pretty much.
I haven't seen it again. It's about maybe 15, 20 yards further forward.
So Lascelles tries to do a Fabian Schär, doesn't he? And thinks, I'm just going to go on a little adventure with this ball. Didn't work out for him.
I thought he was, ironically, given his score, I thought Lascelles was pretty poor for the most, but obviously there was one at the start of the second half. Literally the first moments of the second half where he brought someone down there, it might have been Sterling again, actually. And they were crying for a...
It's hard to, like... In isolation, of course, you criticise the moments, but it's hard to criticise him because of how well he's been.
He's been brilliant.
Because I know exactly the moments you meant. I thought, oh man, because he's been doing so well. I don't want it to...
I know, and I don't want that to come across as being...
No.
He's rotten out like that. He's obviously a very good deputy for what we've got at the minute. He probably is the 4th choice. I mean, if you're looking at Dan Burn as a centre half first, and then maybe he's left back. It depends on what he comes back. That's because Livermento's playing that well there at the minute, or Trippier's played there. I mean, varying degrees of success. But yeah, Lascelles, if he's got an easy ball on, then he's the safest centre half you'll find. You need someone to give the ball to nice and like if someone comes deep, Bruno comes deep, Longstaff comes deep, Trippier's there, Schär's there. He's got footballers all around him. So if he's got a pass on, then I've got absolutely no concern with him. But if it's not a pass on, and you can see when they start to put the pressure on him, and that's what happened. Was 2 of them on him.
Yeah.
I think he's got a hell of a lot better with the ball at his feet than he ever was.
Do you know what I'm going to say? Do you mean in regards to his passing ability?
Yeah.
I think he can pass the ball better. However, when he comes running out with it, it's shades of Nick Pope I'm getting. When he's physically getting the ball and runs with the ball. Because normally, personally for me, every single time
he's not going to drop the shoulder and go past somebody.
He's not Peter Bielsa, you know what I mean? But
can I just jump in? Because I'm not sure if these comments are correct, but there's 2 separate people mentioned these comments about the boots that he was wearing. Lascelles. He's wearing 2 different sized boots. What? There's 2.
How do you know?
I'm going off what the comments are. There's 2 different people saying that he was wearing 2 different sized boots.
That might just mean in his ability to play football, maybe, or something. They're just trying to be, I don't know.
Look, it is, man. I've never come
To be fair, most people have got 1 foot bigger than the other.
Yeah. But how are we meant to tell everyone's a 10 and one's 11?
It's 9 times 11. I've just read there on the screen. That's mad. That maybe I don't know. Maybe it's true.
Might have his toe bandaged up.
Sorry, Dan. Carry on.
No, it's fine. But no, I think when every time I watch it, you know for a fact that no matter how much space Lascelles got to run into the ball, he will just pass it almost immediately.
Yeah.
Almost immediately when I watch him, right? And that's fine. I agree. You just accept it, you understand. However, there has been a few, certainly games gone by there's a few where he's playing some unbelievable passes, and I can't. But I think what I mean is Fabian Schär, for example, and I know he's not Fabian Schär, and I'm not expecting him to be, but once he starts coming out with the ball, we're in trouble. That's how I feel, personally.
Yeah, I agree.
Or to your point, sorry, when people are coming at him, you know, if he hasn't got a pass on, way it's just ramming headlights.
As soon as he lost the ball, you just look at the rest because you focus on Lascelles. Then he loses the ball, then you just look to the left between the space of him and the keeper, and there's nobody.
Everyone's ahead of him. Everyone's
nobody. And I'm thinking, shit.
I was watching Almighty rush to get back, though, wasn't it? Like, everybody's
scoring. You know what he's like me, Dad?
Yeah.
It's second like, hey, shite him. Straight away, I was like, calm down, sorry. He's hopeless.
It was just that moment where
I don't actually think he was that bad, you know.
No, I was poor on Saturday.
No, I don't know.
He took his goal really well. I mean,
Very well.
Totally unmarked, but it's a great header, that, like.
But before we get on,
By his
onto
recent
the Sterling
standards,
goal,
I'd say.
Before we get on to that, obviously we need to talk about Sterling's free kick as well, and it's a perfect position. As soon as he puts that ball down,
Did you expect him to shoot? To take that?
No. So I looked at Adam and I went, "This is a great position." And I thought, I can't remember who was alongside it, but I thought they were just going to smash it.
Yeah.
By the looks of it, but then Sterling, it's a fantastic free kick. But we'll go back to the topic and conversation. Which
You are not going to say what I think you're going to
we've
say.
said quite a bit, Deck, and I think it's only you that mentions this.
Oh.
The goalkeeper is so far over one side of the goal. Yes, the wall's supposed to be doing its job, but if the wall fails, there's a huge space to aim at there.
Oh, you're going to mention
What's
that?
the point of having a wall?
Yeah, listen, I've said this for years and years. And I've always wanted, I don't know if I've said this to you, Bestie, and I know you're the goalkeeper of a lot of it. I've never understood the reason of a wall for a lot. Now, I'll say a few things. For a few seconds, yes. If you're that close, maybe I'll accept it.
Yeah. I think
Otherwise, you're just absolutely blasting it, aren't you?
Well, bring it on.
especially
bring it
against
standing ball.
against a lower standard of player. So if it's like one of us taking a free kick, I'll put a wall up thinking they're not getting over and down. Or
Yeah.
not getting up and down from 25 yards.
If you're 25, 30, don't make a wall. Keep our stands in the middle and go and just have a shot, mate. And I just never think he's going to score. Like,
Fully enough, there's a lad, David Priest, who I don't know if he was on Twitter quite a bit. He was keeper for, he was like a Sunderland goalkeeper for a bit. Aberdeen, he's coaching out in Scandinavia recently. He's a good lad, and he's been saying this for a while. And he's been a professional goalkeeper. He said it'd be interesting to see what would happen if that happened. If they just said, right, we'll have a wall, have a shot.
See, there's a few things in my head. Honestly, I've said this to Chris for years. Honestly,
That's why I brought it
haven't
up.
I? Like, honest to God, every time I see a free kick score, I'm like, why you made a wall? I've always said it, right? Even in Beckham's day. I also think it would shock the player. Now, of course, they'd adapt and they'd change, but if this guy puts the ball down, he knows, he practices with these targets in training. He's got a fake wall that he'll be bending around over and over again. Just don't make the one stand in the middle. I reckon the player would be like, shit, I can't just bend it in. He would literally take 2 steps if he doesn't catch it.
I'll tell you what you could do.
Like-
I've never thought of this before, but
I'm not having that. I'm not having that.
So you
I
don't
get what
think
you're saying from 25, 30 yards
no,
out where you've got
I referenced
distance.
I referenced that if it's close in,
Yeah.
I totally understand why you make a ball because it's almost like a penalty,
Yeah.
right? If it's that close.
like edge of the box.
Of course.
crap.
But absolutely.
That is where Sterling's was.
Yes, I'd probably give you that. Now,
Can you not just put your wall on the line?
well, no, then no one. There's no
You can, but
offside.
everybody just stands in
There's
Then
no
everyone's
offside.
on side then.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say there is if you don't have
Mind
a
you,
wall,
still
right?
might score. Like.
If you don't have a wall, theoretically you could have everyone stood along the line of where the ball is. And then the kind of they could play up play maybe it's 5 yards deeper. So instead of being 10 yards out, you obviously got to keep the 10 yards between the ball.
Actually, do you know what?
You're just taking a penalty from a distance.
No.
then,
What I'm
aren't you?
saying is,
And
what
he
I'm
ain't
saying
scoring.
is,
And he ain't scoring. But
because
I
the
do
wall,
think.
the wall, generally speaking, is the line at which the players stand to be
Yeah.
onside, offside.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So no forwards normally go far beyond the wall. So for a free kick like that, if you have everyone stood like say 5 yards, not 5 yards away from the ball, but 5 yards further down the pitch, so still you got a 10-yard radius around the ball, circumference, whatever. Don't have a wall, but don't because you can then push everyone a bit further forward, and it eliminates the chip in the box for the header as well.
It does. Do you know what's just coming to us now? What I would do if I was the opposition, I would
chipping that ball from that distance.
I would just
No,
get
I'm
my.
saying again from further, free kick from 30 yards out where they've got a wall. You can
So what we're doing here is talking about a completely hypothetical free kick that had nothing to do with that free kick of the weekend.
No, I think I disagree. I think the Pope does what he can do. I think the wall's there to do his job. The free kick's that good that the wall becomes redundant, but the
100%.
wall isn't redundant. And Nick Pope stood where he stood because that's what the wall's for.
Yeah.
It's if you beat us from there, it's a great free kick. I'll have it done.
He does not beat him from. But if you took the wall away and Sterling hits it exactly the same, Pope saves that every single day of the week.
He would be a step, but he's right.
Every single day of the week. No, do you not think he saves that if it was in just in open play? He saves that surely.
How? He
Well,
doesn't
he just
save it
dives.
when the wall's there.
Because you
How
can't,
is he
you
gonna
can't fucking
save
see
it when
it.
it's
You
not?
can't see it because of the wall.
Because
the wall blocks him, so you cannot see it. It's too
where
late.
the wall's
He
situated.
still should have moved. Like my
Where the
opinion,
wall
but-
stood, Pope's probably taken 2 or 3 steps to the left of where he would normally be.
Nah, I think he's quite central.
Is he bollocks?
No, he's all to the left.
I'm going to agree with for once. I'm going to agree with Mark here. I don't think
Not
he's
central.
I think
no,
he's
no,
quite
but I
central.
don't think he's as far over. That suggests not making a dive for it. Like I have to say that I think he could have done. I could think he could have done
I
it.
just
for
think
it.
he's expected.
I don't think he's getting
Now
there.
to go back to me not having a wall,
Which is where I
scenario,
thought you were going when
Yeah,
you
I thought
started.
that as well.
I think the opposition would then make their own wall. So I'm the home team, and I'm like, nah, lads, we're not going to make a wall. Just mark the players up and let them shoot. I think the opposition will go,
Yeah.
we'll just make a wall. We'll
they do
do
that
the wall
anyway, don't
to
they?
allow him to
I think-
trademark practice.
I
shit.
think the wall.
But don't make a wall.
I feel like Donald Trump's back. Yeah, the moment with Donald.
I know.
I think the wall. The purpose is a wall serves, which is favourable to the striker. It's almost like a guide.
Yeah.
So you know that you've got to get a ball over. It's like if you just have a shot, you're just putting your laces through it. You're not trying to get the dip on it. It's probably going to be rising for the most part. Whereas with a wall, you've got to you get that top on it and all that. And so maybe
I think to the point you made a reference just before there was a good one, that a lower standard of player, right?
yeah.
Probably can't get it up and down.
Exactly.
These Premier League world class footballers, man.
Oh, he
the
is
practice
good
that
as well.
every
Yeah.
If it
single
was that
day.
easy, you'd be having 2 or 3 free kicks scored every single game.
Well, maybe.
Do we need Stephen Taylor back or somebody like Stephen Taylor just to put off that player?
It was a
Yeah, I
goalkeeper.
used to hate when he used to do
It was.
Yeah.
Just go
It was.
use
Goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper. Bogdan.
No, but honestly, I have said that for a while. Just don't make a wall. Keep our stands in the middle and go. Shoot
It'd
me.
be interesting to see how it works.
He ain't going to score.
Because if I
And if he
agree
does, that
with
is
that
a
one,
wigger.
it's a great free kick that kisses you on the side of the crossbar now. But I agree with you. If Pope's central and there's not a wall there, it might still go in. But I think he's closer to it. He maybe puts an effort in. But
He's
he's
safer
expecting
for me.
it to go to his left, so he's kind of he's almost leaning that way as well. Like
Yeah.
it's too much. It wasn't in as far into the corner as I remember. Again,
No,
Rex
it
It's
said.
not. No, it's not. That's what I mean by if he's in the centre of his
yeah.
goal.
I would
he
love
just-
to know statistically how many free kicks are taken away from the wall. So rather than taking it up and over, that go to that side. There can't be many.
Well, it is a
Again,
good trick
it's
because
distance, isn't it?
you're hoping the keeper's going to take that step, and then because again he's blinded again because he can't see the ball. Basically, most of the time the keeper cannot see it.
Yeah.
He cannot see it until it's on him.
Was
It's
Trippier's
difficult.
against Man City? Was that over the wall or was it past it?
No, he went the
further
other
out,
side
wasn't it?
off. It was further out as well.
It's
He
not
went-
around it.
It was like it went in that corner, but the wall it was more set to
Was that-
be
that was
that
Everton
way.
when he went
but
round
he
the
kind of
wall?
went that way.
Everton was round the wall. It was low.
Yeah.
The one
I
up
was low.
there.
Exactly. No wall. He's not scoring there. Like he's not scoring. Like
I think it's
But if it was that easy, Trippier wouldn't hit the crossbar at the other end.
but again, from that range, if he doesn't make a wall, I still don't believe from a dead ball the keeper's in the middle. He ain't scoring. Like, and if he is, the keeper's got to be.
Have you forgotten about the way that Alan Shearer used to hit his free kicks, for instance? He just used to absolutely blast them.
Yeah, I understand that, but not everyone's Alan Shearer, mate. Not everyone's
It's
Alan
a
Shearer.
lot easier to just whack a ball
Oh,
hard
aye.
straight than it is to.
Oh, aye, dead easy. Near bother that at all. You see, Joe Linton's it's rugby at the weekend, man. Like rugby, like rugby.
What, his goal? He absolutely
That
pummeled that.
footer,
completely
That's
unnecessary.
still
that, I
travelling.
think.
Oh, horrendous.
He didn't need another one. He scored.
Oh, sorry.
He didn't need to put his foot. It was. I love that he did. Like
So
No,
I
no,
think at the end of the day, it's a fantastic free kick. Whether or not there's
Exactly,
a wall there
yeah.
or not, it's a great
I actually even
free
forgot
kick.
why
is.
the
Some-
conversation
Sometimes you've just got to hold your hands up and say,
I wish
"There's
Nick
nothing
Bowen
you can
held
do
his
about
if
that."
Pope had held his hand up, he might have kept it out.
I so you don't think he could have done any better?
I think I honestly thought it was too close to the edge of the box to get it up and over and down that
Good shout,
quickly.
Yeah. Good show, yeah.
And that's what's done. But because, like you say, he doesn't react because
He watches it well enough, like.
But
now
he waits on his left foot in it, like so.
Yeah.
He's already.
Yeah, I'm just being horse.
It's a great free.
Don't
kick.
make a wall,
It's
though.
hit well, and I. It's if it's
If you
further
take a
out.
chance as the keeper, though,
But you look stupid if you're just going to dive that way and it goes sailing into the other corner, aren't you?
rather than just stand there.
I was shocked. He just took it.
Pickford's done that plenty of times, just dived and the ball sailed past him the opposite direction and everybody's gone, what's he doing?
He always makes a goal look better. I mean, that kid.
does,
I mean, it was an amazing goal, but the way he died every
He
time.
loves a
really
dive.
does.
He loves a dive.
I don't think
Slow
Pope could have done any
mo,
more with a free kick, really, unless he knows where it's going, obviously.
Yeah.
But from
I should have told him where it was going because I said it before he took it.
I know that's what I mean. Like, I know you
to
can't
get
go the
it
keeper's
up and
side.
down
Oh,
from
it's
that,
impressive.
that
It's great. It's
distance.
wonderful.
with the power on it, it's got it as well. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, shite.
I still think he could have done a bit better, if I'm being honest.
Not having that.
I'm not saying it, he
I'm not
wouldn't have kept
having
it out, but I would like to see him jump for it.
So when it went to 1-1 to move forward, were any of you worried that
Don't think worried.
I wasn't worried, nah.
No. I wasn't either. I believe in them so much, you know.
I don't get worried anymore.
Nah, I don't either. No.
But saying that, like before kickoff, I did say, Adam, I said, the injuries that we have,
Yeah.
looking at the bench, there's nobody that can change that. Chelsea on decent form, not great, but in decent form. I thought this could be a tricky one for today.
They scored 8 goals in 2 games before. The
They've
weekend.
conceded
But then-
8. They've conceded 8 in
conceded
2.
eight.
But
After 5 minutes, I thought, now Harry.
after the Man City game, that when they played Man City, it was one of the best games I've ever seen. That for me, I
was.
thought it was
Proper end-to-end,
wasn't it?
that.
And I
Yeah.
thought, I
was
did
goal,
say
yes,
it. I think that's when I was watching it, but I said like, "Oh, this will suit us." I think like if someone's going to be open, we've said it for years. If a team comes and just shuts up shop and we try and break them down, we struggle. We've always struggled. Even with Eddie Howe's team, we do struggle to break a team down. However, if the opposition comes at us or it's a bit open, I think we'll rinse you. Like 9 times out of 10, we'll rinse you. PSG did it, and I think Chelsea did the same. That they actually come in, they're trying to really attack us at times, and it leaves them open, and then we'll just break you.
Depends on how they do it, because like Dortmund did it in both games, got at with, but they were the press high and all that, like, and
Yeah,
they didn't give a time on the ball, whereas Chelsea
they were a
weren't.
lot more structured, though. I feel
Yeah.
them. Look at the goals we scored. I mean, goodness me, look at Isak, man. Dortmund never give away any
No.
room like that. You know what I mean? Look at ourselves' goal. Dortmund ain't conceding that.
It's
you
a
know what I mean?
lovely, it's a
like-
great ball by
Oh,
Gordon, it's a great header, but by
absolutely.
God, he's got the freedom.
Oh,
Yeah.
if the City,
Totally.
if the
Might as well-
City.
we'll be going half an hour, so we might as well just go through the rest of the goals. So obviously the next one up is Lascelles' goal that takes it to 2-1. Absolute fantastic ball in from Gordon. And like you said, Bessie, it looks like once again we've got loads of space in that area.
Aye. It was just, no one tracks his run, but he heads that ball. I know blokes that can't kick a ball that hard. He really, like, the neck muscles, like,
It's in Saudi now, him.
it's a great header, that, like.
That wasn't me.
No, it wasn't.
It is a great header.
Aye.
It's a bullet header on the deck.
Aye. I just, like, the keeper's got no chance. Like, he heads it perfectly forward. It's great 'cause his whole body's facing where the ball's going to go. It's not like a glance, it's just bash it.
He just needs to teach Joe Linton how to do that. That's all he got to do in training. Just teach Joe Linton.
That was a dodge, Jordan.
It was
I love him, but
absolutely
golly.
We're gonna have to touch.
You know, I'll tell you what, was I don't know if it was before that or not, but when he's not even through on goal, he's like 35 yards out. The Gallagher's shouting, shoot at him, and he's on his left foot.
That's the one I was
Like,
about.
what are you doing?
Conversion.
Like, what are you trying? Not him. Don't tell him to shoot.
Yeah, Mark.
I say that every week.
What are you doing?
Shoot again, shoot. I'm like,
Smithy, that stands next to me, was going berserk.
Yeah.
He's going light. Cause
God, it was
what on
just
earth are you
heavy.
trying to do there?
Couldn't
Yeah.
believe it. Like, couldn't
But
believe it.
it's
Literally
not
hit,
just-
he
it's
literally
not
hit
just
the
the
Chelsea fans, man. He leveled
Aye.
them. They were like, get up there.
Are they building a tier? So
But yeah, Lascelles' goal was great. Closely followed by Joe Linton. Finally got his goal. It is Thiago Silva that just has absolute brain lapse, doesn't he? Just completely forgets where
He
he is.
had,
a bad game.
he had a really.
He has
was
had a
shocker.
stinger.
Yeah.
He
was
really
that one
did.
that you put out for a corner on the first half with Gordon's
That was
apparently just
hilarious, that.
I still don't know
falls over
exactly how he.
himself. Just
And it's
falls over.
Thiago Silva. He's one of the best centre halves of his generation.
But yeah,
mate.
once again, it's that
yeah, it was I.
it's that Eddie Howe Newcastle United high press would nick the ball. Joe Linton's breathing down his neck. I think Bruno's not far behind him as well.
Well, there's 3 on him straight away.
Yeah.
The goalkeeper, it looks like he kind of runs away from the ball as if he knows how hard Joe Linton's going to hit that.
He doesn't want any part of
Because
it. The keeper.
like
problem.
the
I
keeper,
think he's
nah, I'm going to move over.
I think he's
Like,
expecting
similar
to go
Nick
across
Pope.
him.
He's
I think
expecting just
him
to
put him
place
across
it,
like
isn't
that.
he?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm shifting over this side, and
It was
he's
so
got
cool.
no right to hit that ball as hard as he can, but absolutely loves it.
So unnecessary.
Brilliant.
Jimmy, he just passed it gently in the back of
know.
the net.
It was class.
I think he was really pissed off. I think he was pissed off for the chance he missed in the first
Yeah,
half.
I think
I
right,
really
agree.
do.
See how he celebrates?
Yeah,
It was like good year. Actually, with good years against Chelsea that time when he
Aye.
ran towards the corner and he's going bananas. Like
I really
the
feel
3-2
there was a bit of anger in there that he's pissed off. He's missed another chance.
Well, I
and
think
he's
it was
really,
evident in his celebration as well.
Yeah, 100%.
It looked like
It's his first goal this season.
looked like he had angry tears.
Was it?
He's still the best. Love him.
It was what? Sorry,
First goal this season.
Joe Linton's.
Yeah.
Was it actually?
He said himself after the game.
Oh, for some reason, I thought he had a couple.
Yeah, I did as well. But I think because everyone scored.
Because he should have scored.
Because like everyone scored against Sheffield United,
Maybe-
so surely he's in a
No, maybe he's in the cup or something like that. But apparently, that's what he said in his interview.
Man U in the Man City, he scored against either of those two.
Can't remember.
That's
But,
called the
but it was
Champions
very similar.
over there,
And there's a comment there from Liam Coates that says Sanchez was defo shouting knee blasties.
Yeah, blasties.
Yeah,
aye, yeah.
blasties.
Definitely. Aye.
Trying to get the referee to disallow it.
If he was kicking around the UK in the early 2000s, he would have definitely been shouting "Have it" when he puts his foot through that.
It's one of those ones where like, if you've got knee nets on the goal, you hit it and kind of like, oh no.
And I got chased after the
Got a
ball.
can't foul, got a can't foul, now the guy.
Kicks it, gets it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that puts us 3-1 up, and just to round it up before we
Kills a game, that done.
Yeah, it does.
With the
Before
red card as well.
So yeah, Reece James. Sorry, so Reece James, he gets sent off before the 4th, if I remember right. Yeah, so it's 2 yellow cards, which Do you know what it is? If I'm a Chelsea fan, I'm not happy with
Both
the way
are
he gets
absolutely
sent off.
pathetic.
You kick
Sterling's
the ball
was the
away
same.
for
They
the
get a
first
for
one.
kicking the ball away.
Sterling and James got booked. Both got booked for kicking the ball away.
The first one I thought was really weird because I thought he was going to book Gallagher for the foul.
He should have.
He should have.
Ironically,
And now
yeah.
he booked Reece James. I'm saying to the lads, he's booked the wrong bloke.
I need to just
then-
references. Daz, if you're watching, I apologise, mate. So you know Daz, the fantasy I went to America to see him.
Yeah.
So he had he's getting this app anyway, so he can gamble from America, and he used Sky Bet. I told him download Sky Bet because the boosts I'm in, right? Tenner free bet, right?
No, actually, he's not doing that. Shh.
You what? Well, you don't get it wrong, is that right, man? 500
get
quid.
wrong.
500 quid return. Everything came in. Isak scored, Sterling scored. Joe Linton got booked, and then we thought Gallagher. That was his other one. Gallagher got, and I'm telling you, when I was watching the footage, like he definitely looked like he booked Gallagher. So obviously he's like, "Oh, I'm getting 500 quid," but it turns out it was the guy who kicked the ball
James,
away.
yeah.
And he's like, "They still haven't paid out yet." And I was like, "Oh," and then we're
so-
checking
so's
now.
mate.
So sorry, Daz.
But his second yellow card, it's yes, it probably is soft, but once again, he gives the referee that decision to make.
He just walks off. There's no.
I was very surprised at his reaction because there was
It felt like
there
he
was
knew.
nothing in
And
it.
that's what makes me think maybe he has grabbed him, and it's just that the camera doesn't quite show it. If he catch him, or it says he's tripped him to one of the commentators, and I've looked at the legs. It doesn't appear to be that he goes across.
It's
them
soft.
He
It's
wasn't
soft.
he wasn't happy the second Joe Linton did what he did on the. This is before the first half. This was, by the way. I'm sure it was, wasn't it? Maybe it
Yeah,
was.
because he was having an argument with Tyndall as
Oh,
well.
just when he
Massively.
had a bit of a high arm.
It was high, like I mean, it was
He got booked. Though, it was right.
he got booked. It was one of these things Bruno did one the week before. Like, you got to be careful. Like you got to be
Don't think it
careful.
was.
But it wasn't as bad as Bruno's. But your
No.
arm should not be up there. Like it just shouldn't be there. I don't know what he's doing. But anyway, he just wasn't happy after that moment. He was shouting ball at Tyndall. I think one of his own players had to try and calm him down, and I just think he never really recovered.
I
Even
missed that.
the second half, he just didn't. He didn't really
But
recover.
to be
but
fair,
still-
Gordon had him on toast constantly.
Oh, 100%. That'll annoy him. Joe Linton whacking him will annoy him. Not arguing with Tyndall will annoy him. Losing the ball like he did will annoy him. Being 3-1 down will annoy him.
He's good
Do you know what I mean?
players. I like James a lot,
And-
but yeah,
The thing is, it just grinds you down at our
didn't
place. It
happen.
just grinds you down, and then you do a daft mistake and you're off.
yeah.
It's just great. It's brilliant.
I looked like he just wanted the ground to swallow him when he got that second one. He just strolled off the field. I don't even think he looked at anybody. Just head down.
He's a hell of a player, him, you know.
He
Reece
certainly
James is a superb player.
heard what the crowd was singing as he went off the pitch.
was
That
loud,
was
wasn't it?
hilarious.
His sister's better than me, though. To be honest with you. Like, she's probably better than everyone in that crowd.
But yeah, the fourth goal. Sorry, before that, it's Gordon that wins the free kick, isn't it, against
Yes.
James?
Yes.
That's we just mentioned it earlier on the show. That's what Gordon does. He puts himself
totally.
and wins them free kicks.
And,
Yeah,
he, and
he
he
does,
gets his body in the position that draws the foul, you know, which is excellent.
I remember watching a Villa game because it was my Littleton's birthday party. That day, so I didn't go to the game. I watched it in the box. And there was a point where every time he got the ball, he won a free kick. And it felt like it was dozens of them. He's just getting kicked, or he's making sure he gets kicked.
Very like Grealish is like that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
very similar.
identical, like he just puts himself in that
Yeah.
area or that way, to draw a foul, and the referee. Probably the ref sometimes even knows what he's doing. There's contact. It's a foul. Like,
gotta
he
be-
has to
yeah,
give
right.
it. You know what I mean?
And you can tell he's trying to do it because the reaction afterwards, he wins the free kick and he knows he's won it before he's even had the contact. He just gets up and gets on with it rather than reacting to the challenge that's came in on him. He just sits on the deck for a little while, right? Up we get, off we
Isn't that
go.
a funny thing how he used to
That other fella
react?
didn't used to do that either, did he?
Who?
That other fella, the Saudi one.
The Saudi one.
No, I was going to say that with Gordon because he used to react. Or was it just us?
No, he did. He used to
Because
react
he doesn't, these days he just seems to get up with it, get up and...
quite calm.
I remember the turning point, again there, it feels like, remember Bournemouth away last season when he got subbed? And he was upset. He,
a bit of a kick off on the sideline, yeah.
And like, he seems to have matured loads since that point because he just kind of, like you say, he's almost like, I don't say robotic, but he doesn't seem to have that emotion where he's like upset and he's kicking off and he's in their faces, which what he was known for at Everton in my memory.
But I think
He did
maybe
it against us, didn't he?
Yeah, a couple of times.
But I
aye,
think the difference is maybe at Everton he was getting kicked around a bit by players.
Yeah.
Here, he's figured out how to win these free kicks.
He's been incredible this season. He's been like superb. And even when he scores that fourth goal, he's up front. He's a centre forward. You know, I know you
It's a
come.
clever finish as well.
Can we talk about that touch?
I want to talk about Miggy's pass.
Oh,
We'll start
yes.
with Miggy's pass then.
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye. Oh.
Amazing, just amazing.
Obviously,
Obviously,
Mark's little face. Bless him.
Miggy had a great
I,
game as well.
I've
Miggy
always
was
said
excellent. Everyone
brilliant. Miggy was brilliant. I always say that you always talk about passing, and I always say that there's moments for us. Certainly, don't know how we have great possession and we're great movement, but passes are only can happen because of movement, because of the run. Gordon's run's incredible, like the way he bends his run. Just Bellamy-esque, I thought. But anyway, Miggy to come inside like that and outside of the foot was just
That was out of his right foot as well.
no left. He came from the right.
a shame.
And then,
Yeah, so
It would have been easier, ironically, to play it with his right foot, but
it would have.
Well, for 11 blokes on the team.
But Gordon's touch and the way he just creates that slight bit of space, and it seems like it's one movement. He just swipes it to the right, then just the finish is unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
It's not, he doesn't belt it, but he puts it easily past them.
he just like...
And the keeper, everyone knows what he's going to do
even-
because he's right-footed.
I think to reference what Chris said, that's how he scores. It makes it look so easy, and the keeper hasn't really got chances because the keeper kind of set himself. Even though the keeper knows he's going to come inside and shoot,
It's when.
it's like touch go. It hits. It reminded us very quickly. The Trent scored against City earlier on in the day.
Yeah.
It was the same in terms of the touch and the shot was so quick together. Whereas normally you'd come inside, set yourself, and then shoot. It was just touch bang.
Yeah.
And the keeper's oh shit, it was an
And I think it's
unbelievable.
because
Take
normally
that-
they'll come in and you would expect them just to hit it. So you're going to just try and get something on it. Whereas the way he just... he can't even like... He just caresses it, but just bends it enough so that it gets
was
like
like
the
one
keeper
motion
and goes
wasn't it?
into the...
It's like one motion touch,
But it's
almost
beautiful.
follows.
You're right what you're saying, Tekla. Like, as a keeper, and I mean, the standard, even when I was at my best playing days, were nowhere near, like, with Sunday afternoon standard, like, you know. But even now I play with, like, the work lads, and if someone gets into the space but doesn't shoot, it's a relief because you're going, right, I can...
Set
It
yourself.
takes a second, but you get your weight right. You know, Tee 41 years I've been waiting to do that. But you can't let you can put away. You see with the ball. But if you have Gordon was that quick, that Sanchez he's got to make too. Same as Pope with the goal. Nick Pope. I mean, you can't really hit a free kick early before keeper set, but you know you anticipate, and then if it doesn't happen, then you've got to and that's why it happened, and that's how that goal went in. It was brilliant. Gordon was excellent. Like.
Wonderful. And you think the first goal, he had a massive hand in recycling the ball, which eventually went to Miley. Then goal, the cross for Lascelles, the huge part of that, and then he scores. I mean, he's just got a hand in everything.
This is what I was saying though. Like when we're struggling with strikers, and Gordon was put in that role. Gordon didn't do a bad job. He done a fairly decent job when he's asked to do that. But you lose so much when he's not on that wing.
100%. Yeah.
Lose so much.
I hate it when he's up front.
Fantastic winger.
I hate it when he's up front, and that's no disrespect to him. We'll just lose so much on that side of the field.
I'd say what I would have loved to have happened. It should have been 5. That share one when he picked it up on halfway. Again, people are shouting and shooting.
That's the only time I will accept somebody shouting and shoot.
And he's just gone like, no, I'm going to drop the shoulder on left foot again. No, not yet. And then he hits it, and it's a really good save.
Really
it
good
goes.
save.
Hits it with his
The
left.
bend.
as well.
It's a
The bend he
the
gets
bend,
on it.
It's low,
Oh.
it's hard, and it's a good hand by Sanchez. It's a
Very good save.
I wish he'd scored that, you know.
Very good save.
But Cher is the one that you. It's ironic because Joe Linton was bought as a £40 million number 9 in centre forward. I love Joe Linton, obviously, but if he'd had that shot that Joe Linton had in the first half, and people shouting to shoot at him, I think like part of it was
you've got a reason to do that. Yeah.
Go on. He's done this before.
Me and Emma was on mine last night, and we were chatting about the match and that, and then players and all that. And then we kept coming back to Shea, and we were saying, like, pound for pound, there's not many better we've
He's up
ever
there.
bought, you know.
I was
Honest
saying,
to God,
on,
you know.
I was saying on
Certainly a
Saturday
recent
night,
memory, I mean, that is. Recent memory.
I was talking to the lads on something. I was at Jess's thing on Saturday night in Newcastle. I was talking like, and a few times I kind of Shea's performance, as I talked about, it got better and better every time. Whereas by the end of the night, I was saying it's the best I've ever seen a defender play.
I think what is mad though, I think outside of our circle, us, right, you never seem like Monday Night Football. For example, he never seems to get highlighted of what he does really well. Like I never really see him referenced anyway. To be honest with you, apart from us going, he's absolutely lush. He can score a raker, but it's not just that. He's an absolutely brilliant player.
There was one in the first half where the ball came over, and he's like on the back foot. He's got a Chelsea player there, one there, and it's just he deals with it so easily. He just plays it like it comes over the top. And you think,
Aye, he does, doesn't he? Aye.
It could be going over his head. He just goes, "No, that's yours."
It was
Plays
lush.
off to, I think it was
A couple of times where he
Venables.
just steps out and just nips it off the striker's toes as well, and he's away.
It happened in the second half, but it was Miggy who did it. When I was going over the top in the second half along the stand, and Miggy does very similar. There's pressure on him, and he just can't say, "Nah, it's mine." There you go. It's all
He
ball,
does
man.
love a late little burst, little wonder, doesn't he? Like
Sure.
you know,
Aye.
like 78 the Paris Saint-Germain happened, didn't it? It was late on. He just
Sol
goes on
Campbell
this
used to do
run,
it.
didn't he?
Sol Campbell used to do it quite a bit. I remember during the World Cup '98. He was playing Colombia, and he's just kind of like armed up front. He's got a ball at his feet, and no one can get it off. He's like, "Oh, go on."
Nowhere near as gracefully as
Not
Shea.
quite. He's a good player, Sol Campbell. Like,
No, he was,
I mean,
To be fair,
a bit by spell with
when
us.
they're down to 10 men and we're piling that much pressure on him, it's an easy option for him just to stroll up the pitch, isn't it?
Well, you
Oh,
know,
Reece.
I don't know. You know what I mean?
But
He thinks it's easy to hit a ball from 30 yards near ball, that's straight. Near ball, that,
These things Harvey
Near ball.
Barnes should have run his broken foot off. Literally, like, Brooks still kind of walk.
Was
I
under
just wanna-
his toe.
I just want to mention Miley as well. Great game from Miley. Obviously, he got the assist earlier on, and there's a chance in the second half where he's dancing in the box, and the ball just won't drop from to get
We were
a shot away.
willing that one to go in, weren't we?
Yeah,
Am I right? Was it before the fourth goal where he put the pressure on, where he chased it and
Comes across the box.
chased
Yeah,
Sanchez down?
Yeah,
That's right.
And that's 70 or 80, and he's played the whole game.
Yeah.
And it was my thing when I thought mine was excellent. There was a couple of times I thought, if he was just that little bit stronger, and that's a very, very. It's not a criticism; it's just an observation. Like a few times where he's gone in with somebody, a defender who's like in that mid-late 20s, a bit bigger, and have just managed to do anything. When he fills out, because he will get stronger.
Yeah.
It's not a criticism; it's more, it's just a young lad. He's going to be I don't want to.
He's doing. I think I mentioned it last week that he's doing additional strength training.
Yes, he
and
did
stuff
say
like that. Kind of on a night to bulk yourself up a bit and get that. It'll come.
Yeah,
I
but
don't want to
kebabs
kind of-
at
year old.
I don't want to get
kebabs
overexcited
at mine,
based on one game, but I was very impressed with him Saturday. And if he was a bit stronger, you're looking at a 10 out of 10 performance here. Like,
Well, I think when you look at him as well, he looks a lot younger than 17. Doesn't
Yeah,
he?
he does
His
that.
face, he looks
Just look like a Ben. Yeah.
It really does look like a baby. But I still cannot believe. You got to remember that you're playing the pinnacle of the game. Premier League is the best league in the world.
Oh, yeah.
And you're playing against £100 million midfielder.
Blokes who
You know
scored
what I
four
mean?
past the best team in the world last weekend.
Exactly.
Or
And
weekend
he
before, sorry.
he just doesn't look phased at all.
I was very impressed with
There
him.
were, early on in the first half, on the right hand side, he was just passing the ball around so effortlessly and like no. What am I expecting? Diarrhea running down his leg because he's nervous? No, I'm not expecting him to look nervous, but I just, do you know what I mean?
that took a turn.
No,
I
but like,
wasn't expecting that.
no, you probably weren't actually, were you? But like, do
I
you
thought
know
he
what
was
I mean?
talking about a player for a second. I'm like,
Do you know what I mean? Though, like, I'm not expecting him to look nervous when he's on the pitch, like, because I keep saying, look dead calm, or what else is he meant to look like? But he does, doesn't he? It just looks effortless to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just passing the ball, moving. As I will say again, though, I have to reference Bruno again. I thought Bruno was just
Blonde hair's
unbelievable.
back, mate. That's why.
Yeah, honestly,
Still
God,
that one.
he will take the ball in any single environment on that pitch. Sometimes I'll be critical, he holds on it for too long and whatever, but no matter who's in trouble, he will be the person that'll just give it to me, I'll have it. And he'll take it on his shoulders
a few
every
times.
time, man.
Particularly in the second half, I noticed when we had the ball, like it was on our goal line, and it was like it was Livermental, Bruno, and they'll just pass. We'll get out with this. We'll pass our way out with no bother.
Yeah.
And that got Tino again. I feel as well. It's just class.
He's meant that.
He's really good. He's like it's consistent. This is a good couple of months worth of games now.
Got to
where
keep him
he's-
fit. I don't know, he's got a bit of a bad injury record, hasn't he? And I just, sometimes I've seen him limping a bit. I thought, oh my God, because we've got enough injury as it is with Longstaff and all the rest of them now. We're just, but yeah, to have that many injuries and playing against a team, and I know they're not the greatest, right? But a hell of a lot of good players. I think Palmer's a hell of a player.
Cool Palmer, I
did
like
now,
him a lot.
did
Like,
he?
yeah, aye.
No, man.
He did
He had a
not.
few
That
shades in the first
that
5 minutes, I
one where
thought.
Pope made the save in the first half, where
Yeah.
him and the pass it around Palmer played a big
That's
part
right,
in that. Really good save as a goal.
Was.
Very good save.
But they've got great players, individual players, and I mentioned Palmer just again there. And what Awal has at times made them look so ordinary. But
Yeah.
Pochettino referenced at the end of the game was like, again, he said he was fuming that they were outfought, outbattled, outran, and that's everything we are.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
we will run more than the opposition. We will tackle. We will, you know what I mean? The intensity's there, and always is now building our field. So yeah,
But that was the big thing for me. They just looked so uncomfortable throughout the game. They couldn't cope with what we're putting on them.
Totally agree.
Yeah. Second half in particular, I was just say.
Yeah.
First half, at half time, I remember thinking like, well, that could have been either way. That, and I was looking at on Twitter because, like I say, I very briefly got a bit of 5G. I saw the thing was Chris Waddle says Newcastle's been by far the better side, and I thought, oh well, maybe we're hard. I don't know, because when you're at the game, I sometimes
I
find it
honestly
quite hard
thought
to be
we were.
subjective.
I thought other than the first 10 minutes, I thought it was very even the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And again, God, I'm not expecting to turn up here and have 90 minutes of just us. But
Yeah.
there is going to be a moment in this game where Chelsea are going to have their chances or their moment, right? It's going to happen. Great. And I thought other than the first 10, I thought we were absolutely outstanding. Like, I really did.
So jumping over to Tuesday night, we have a trip to Paris coming up. What's the starting 11 going to look like, Mark? Same as?
Pretty much same as, I think. There isn't many different options, is there?
Balls back, I suppose.
Hall at left back, Tino stay at left back.
I think
I bet
Tino's going to stay there, isn't he?
If he's fit and he's not knackered.
If he's able to, I.
Like it's too early, and I'm not like you cannot write Hall off. But in the games that he's came in, there's two of them I can remember he's been taken off at half time. So he's undoubtedly a very, very good player, but it's not clicking for him at the minute. Whereas every time Tino Livamento's been on that pitch, he's been phenomenal.
Phenomenous.
Phenomenous.
The problem with Not the problem with Hall. What the Hall's been a bit unlucky with is we haven't. Remember last season we had Tranmere in the third round of the cup. Oh, sorry, the second round of the League Cup, whichever one it was. We had Sheffield Wednesday away in the third round of the FA Cup.
We've had the big boys this year.
But like we have Man United, we've had Man City, the Champions Leagues. Obviously, even in the Champions League, you can sometimes get a game against like the Norwegian team or
Not in the group of death, you can't.
Well, no, that's what I mean. There's not been a game where Eddie could have gone like, we've got a few points on the board here. We'll give the young uns a bit of a run out. The young uns have had a run out of necessity.
Yeah.
If they had, like, let's say last season's fixtures again, play Tranmere away in the cup, play Bristol Rovers, but a championship team even, I think, not just that he plays, because he plays anyway, he plays for longer, he plays better, he gets the confidence, he gets the kind of understanding with the rest of the team, and then you see more of them. I think it sounds like a mad thing to say, but I think the cup runs or the teams that have played has been to his detriment. I think
His City game he played in midfield as well against them.
That's that I think as well. We've had that many injuries and we've made that many changes that you're bringing him in, and not everyone can adapt to 8-9 changes in a team. You know, if you dropped in Hall and every other player was the same, you know, Bruno's on there, every single person's the same, Hall might be absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, not the entire team, but vast majority of it's a different team. It's hard. It's not easy. You know,
it was probably Wednesday away last
like
season.
Bournemouth, he was dreadful. You know, but he didn't have Joe Linton up front. We didn't have Gordon. Then went up front. We didn't have anyone left wing. It's totally different. It's just totally different operation.
Yeah, right.
Like, you know?
Like I say, Hillsborough last season, I thought Anderson was bad.
Yes, he
and that
was.
was the kind of first time I thought, what about him?
Missed a hell of a chance. No.
And then looking back, it was very much a second string 11.
100%.
And Anderson isn't bad. He's actually very, very good as it turns out. Like, but yeah, I think as much as I was saying earlier, I don't want to get too overexcited about Miley on the basis of that 90 minutes at the weekend. I wouldn't want to. We saw it with Anthony Gordon last season when he came. It took him that little bit. He wasn't terrible by any stretch, but he certainly wasn't what he is now forward. No. And I think I'm based on what people have told us about Lewis Hall, because I've not really seen him myself that much. People think very highly of him. Obviously, Eddie does. Dan Ashworth's been after him for a while. He'll come good.
And it's such a small sample size. And I agree with you with Miley as well. As let's not get too ahead of station and for himself as well. It's a very small sample size. He looks great. He looks absolutely amazing, and that's amazing. But let's not, because if he plays on Tuesday, I mean, because he might do. I think it will be the same team.
Yeah, you'd expect him to be in there,
him,
which is a whole other challenge, isn't it?
Maybe one for your goalkeeper on the bench.
Like, and the one thing, obviously, I wish we could make changes. We've got tired legs, just played Saturday night, but whatever. But the confidence taking it from beating Chelsea 4-1 to go into that game is amazing. It's fantastic for them.
Yeah,
but it's, as Mark said, it's such a different beast. Such a different beast.
Big games as well. Man United next weekend, and we haven't got a midweek off until next year.
Yeah.
It's non-stop, but we knew it was coming. Like,
and then the FA Cup starts second week of January, doesn't it?
Yeah. When's the draw?
Don't know. There is a question about that, and I've got no idea when the draw is.
After the next. Now, what the next round yet?
Normally early December, I think.
Those games not last week, the week before.
Yeah, first round.
It's Monday. It's Monday night. Apparently, Monday for the draw.
There you
go.
So the two things which I want to touch on. So we do have a question in, which is from Josh. Thanks, Josh. But
Josh,
we'll come back to that at the end of the show, mate. The first one are the tweets which we saw from Meredad. So his was the first one where he quote tweeted the squad photo in the dressing room. Basically, I can't remember exactly what it said, but it said needs the fans to be as loud as they possibly can, or
we need it to be the 12th man or something like that.
Again, or something like that.
Throughout the game.
Apologies, I murdered that, but it was something similar to that. Bestie, should he be coming out and saying that? After a win as well?
No, I think you should. I don't think the atmosphere was that bad. What I will say was the times in it. I know I've mentioned that I thought Lascelles had a bit of a funny one on the weekend. After the equalizer, whenever he got the ball, you could hear the Gallowgate like grumbling. It used to happen when Mike Williamson got the ball. You'd hear like it happened with him. It happened with Pope. Pope had a couple of bad clearances, and people on his back. And I think, to what end? What's the benefit?
Totally agree.
What are you trying to kind of achieve by?
Do you not think it's just an instant reaction though?
No, but when he's got a ball, like he made. And again, I'm saying I think he played badly. I think he might have misplaced 3 or 4 passes in 90 minutes, which, in the scheme of things, isn't bad going. Really, it's one every 22.5 minutes. But like, it did the crowd whir. Like, I thought, wow.
So what he said in the tweet, by the way. So just so I don't.
Go on, Decker.
So what a team with a nice little heart. We need to give these guys more support in the stadium. We need to be louder. We need to be the 12th man.
No, I don't think that's appropriate.
No, it's not. Sorry, Mark.
I don't think you should send the message. However, what you've just said there completely contradicts itself. Because if the atmosphere was that good, you wouldn't hear them grumbles. You wouldn't hear those noises and those moans.
You're always going to
'cause
have
they
pockets
wouldn't
of
happen.
spells where there's nothing happening though.
Chris, you know, for most of that first half on Saturday,
You were mourning.
the first half, the atmosphere was shocking.
Yeah, it was.
It was shocking. You could hear the Chelsea fans more than you could hear the Newcastle fans.
And
See, I can never hear
I
you away
couldn't
fans.
get the Chelsea fans once.
They were singing that stupid Mow in the Meadow song.
yeah.
Not once did I hear them.
I could hear
You
that.
must have better years than me.
My ears are half blocked up as well with me cold. And
And you're
bloody-
40 years older.
So, me question to you is what? Because listen, all the games I've been to, Arsenal was amazing. To be fair, but there's a lot of games I've been to this season. And I think it's been quite poor. If I'm being honest with you, right? Why do you think that is?
combination of things for me is
This is where we get the B word come in.
that's part of it. There's a point around the fact that expectations are a lot higher now than they've ever been. So if maybe people aren't feeling as entertained or the game isn't as exciting, that it's not getting them as up for the game. You've then got a situation where you've got people are in a hell of a fettle by the time they get into the game. We've seen it again on Saturday. The queues to get in were ridiculous again at the weekend.
Yeah, I got caught up with them on Saturday. And it's the first time
to get in.
It was the first time I've been there less than like 45 minutes now before kickoff.
Yeah.
And it was like I was stood still for about 25
It's
minutes.
madness. It's madness.
It was
So
really poor.
you've got people that are either having to go in 2 hours before kickoff, evening Daryl,
Bonjour,
or you're standing outside trying to get in for 2 hours. So that's affecting it. People can't have that extra pint or two before they go into the game because they're having to stand into the queue. You've got the then situations with the ticket side of things where, like, I'm seeing stuff around people blaming tourists and stuff like that. Yes, there'll be an element of tourists there at the game, but that's not a huge thing. The problem that you've got is the way the ballot system works is that if you're entering a ballot and trying to get in as a group of friends, it's much more difficult to get two seats together or 3 seats together. So if we didn't have season tickets and we wanted to go, we're probably going to have to apply for a single ticket rather than say, well, let's try and get 3 together so that we can, sample the game together and enjoy it together. So that when there needs to people being split and sitting all over the different places in the ground.
And how many is that? How many is it then, the ballot thing? So how many?
Don't get him starting out stats again.
No.
Figures,
Aye,
Jesus
correct. Yeah.
Christ.
Well,
So,
look,
no,
well,
but how many? So there's how many season ticket holders is it?
Corby will be
30
picking that door.
odd thousand.
So there we go.
30,
So if
35,000
30 odd thousand is, if they're not sitting next to each other, holding hands or whatever you want them to do, if 30,000 is not enough to create an atmosphere, we've got a problem. Like, but it cannot. The atmosphere
I remember-
cannot be bad
The problem
because of a queue
with that
outside
is
and people not sitting.
the atmosphere generates from is always generates from the corner and then spreads.
Yeah.
It'll spread into the Gallowgate. It'll go. Well, not most of the time. It just skips the east stand and goes into the
Sails
Leasers.
on top of that.
But even the Leasers, when there was noise being generated, nobody was picking it up in the Gallowgate, bar a handful of people. It was never breaking into the Leasers end of getting it, or vice versa. There's been times where you can hear that end of the ground singing, and it'll break down to us. There's just a huge disconnect at the moment, and admittedly, once we got that second goal, and the fact that we then got the third goal very quickly after, that changed. The entire atmosphere changed because all of a sudden everybody's happy.
And that's the problem. Now about queues, now about ballots not sitting with each other. That's the problem. Is this expectation of if we're not 2 or 3 up, we're not entertained. I'm not so gladiator.
I remember that we played the last game of the season, 2003-2004. I've mentioned this before, against Wolves, who you come dressed as today, Mark. We drew, I think, was it 0-0 or 2-2, or might got beat. Well, last game of the season, we finished that season 4th or 5th. Did lap of honour at full time. The ground was empty. The ground was empty for that.
Yeah.
You become. I don't think that the manner in which the kind of queues are happening, I don't think digital ticketing's really worked completely, in spite of what the company have said. I don't think that helps, but I honestly think it's just that we're getting more entitled.
Yes. That's exactly.
Well, I think it's just a combination of all of that is leading.
But I can never tell the atmosphere because where I stand, like I can't hear the away fans because I'm the back row of the corner, so I can hear, and everyone around me is loud. So then,
I mean, that's not to say that they were making, like, don't get us wrong, they weren't making a racket. It was just a very low.
But
roll
over
the
us,
and it was brief.
the only game I've really noticed that was Dortmund with the drum.
Yeah.
And that was a constant. But generally speaking, but again, I think that's
PSG was exactly the same.
more because of where I am. Like the sound that we make just bounces off the ceiling, and it's kind of. I can't. Well, after the Dortmund game, I was surprised when people say, "I'm it was poor." I don't think it was any worse than it was.
Arsenal was like.
Can we look a bit at Corbett as well, though? Because the thing that annoyed me, Corbett doesn't bother me because it was always going to happen, right? Of course it was. But then for the owners to come out and start talking about the atmosphere when they've moved certain sections of the fans as well from their normal seats to introduce Corbett.
But in the grand scheme of things, it's a small area. That central bit
quite
of the
a big
Leazers.
that I noticed on Saturday for the first time I've really noticed it. It was 50 minutes in, and there's still no one sitting there.
It's a big chunk, and obviously you've got rooftops, which is over to our left.
Yeah, your left.
It's the opposite corner.
Yeah, it's over to our left as
That's
well.
the one that bloke did the TikTok thing on, wasn't it?
Yeah, 650 quid a ticket.
It's expensive. Looks good. Like,
That's a lot of Mediterranean
It's a shit
lamb
seat
stew
as well,
you've got to
isn't it?
eat for that, isn't
I
it?
don't bother. The seat doesn't bother me. It's a seat's a seat. Like
Really?
I don't care like about.
650 having a roof above us, like I would hate it. Personally, that's just me. Though.
I'd want to be alongside Miley for 650.
I'd want to be on
Miley
the
Cyrus.
I'd want to be on the halfway line. I'd want to be like on the halfway line. I can't believe you'd pay that much money and be so far away
in the
from
corner.
near that goal. I just
Well, I
Right on the
noticed
roof
that,
as well.
like
Right
what
on
you're
the
saying
roof,
is second half, director's box, empty for a good 15, 20 minutes into the game because they were stuck inside getting tucked into the cheese board and half-time pies.
I honestly think I'll go back to the Dortmund game. When I was at the Dortmund game, and listen, I could be totally wrong. Right? I'm just the last home game.
That's naughty.
What's it? I'm totally wrong. The last the PSG game obviously was we thumped them, right? And then the next one was Dortmund, and I honestly believe not the next game. I mean the next Champions League. Sorry. I just feel the entitlement is, mint, let's just sit down here and we'll be 2 in a minute and 3-0 up soon because it's what we do.
Yeah.
And when that doesn't happen, I'm not saying everyone, by the way, but I do think that is coming into it, that it's just...
Yeah, I think the crowd doesn't dictate what happens on the pitch, nor does what happens on the pitch necessarily dictate what happens with the crowd as well. But there's definitely a little bit of a...
Yeah.
When the crowd's up for it, you can see at times, you can see the players like, wow, there's a buzz. And when the players are doing really well, or like... Joe Linton's kicking someone up behind, winning the ball. It's like the crowd feed off that as well. So yeah, definitely.
We've said a lot of times, if it's a beer bath and it's an 8 o'clock one or a 5:30, say, and everyone's full of drink, and if there's a bad ref or there's a massively bad challenge, that gets rolled. I remember the Arsenal game. I think it was Longstaff that got flattened by Havertz. Fever pitch after that for the full rest of the game. Sometimes and I appreciate the action on the field sometimes dictates that. However, to go back to the first half, and the Mark's referencing it was poor. That first half didn't deserve to have a poor atmosphere. I thought we were playing well, we played good.
Yeah.
So,
and I was frustrated with the crowds because it was like, what's wrong? Why aren't you getting behind this? Because it was like I think there was chance trying to get started, but just wasn't picking up.
So because I know Chris, you were probably the most opinionated in the WhatsApp group of him tweeting that.
Yeah, and
that's fine by the way, but. So do you believe what he said is true? He just shouldn't have said it, or do you think just nah?
No. I think the atmosphere has been flat. I just don't think owner should be coming out and saying that sort of shite.
I agree.
Like if you think it, do something about it. I agree.
I think it's been taken wrong because
I don't think it has. Both of them.
It is more like what you've just been saying there around being the 12th man and making the noise of when the tackle is and encouraging and all of that kind of thing. Of doing that.
Not to try and deflect from the point he's making, but. I've said this for a long, long time. I said it about me mate. He's now off. Hasn't died. He just went to Saudi. But
pretty much the same thing.
When someone's on social media, as much as these are, I always feel you're leaving yourself wide open to something being taken badly. And it's all
correct.
great when we're doing great and winning, blah, blah, blah. And maybe in the heat of the moment, he's put that on. And I don't think in any way he's not meaning it like really badly. But
He's not saying we're shite.
yeah, of course he's not. But I agree, though. I just feel there's a time and a place, and that wasn't it. Like
I agree with that. Yeah, totally.
It's the fact that they kind of doubled down on it as well. So
Ruben straight underneath.
Ruben straight after it as well. And I thought, oh, nah, lads, what are you doing, man?
Then Amanda.
And then Amanda did the opposite, didn't she?
Like that's a PR thing, that, you know.
It is.
100%. That's trying to...
I agree.
Just tell them off.
It's damage limitation, that, you know. That's what that is.
Yeah, I think that as well. She must have seen that and thought, why have you put that?
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't deleted it, like, so I'll give him that. He's just stuck with it.
She's changed hers.
But then, what?
She changed hers.
What do you mean?
Cold was shite.
Especially them bold lads in the corner.
She had to remove her reference.
Oh, did she really?
Yeah,
Oh, sorry, I didn't realise that, so I'll take that back a little bit then. So, I do want to mention something else as well. Ruben's coat that he had on. Anyone see that? Because obviously I was watching the telly. He was obviously sitting next to me, Dad, and he had a Newcastle coat on, like the one I bought. It's the Fun 88 one. And
owners are still wrapping up the funny
I couldn't believe it. I was like, hang on, you could literally walk in the club shop and just pick it. Like, just grab it and go,
that's mine.
It's mine, Tora. And he had last year's coat on.
Help FFP though, would it?
Well,
You can have 10% of it.
it was like 2 years ago, that coat, and he's sitting there with it on.
Yeah, but he got it in the Black Friday sale.
You might just like
Off
it.
price.
But the codes haven't changed that much. But like, it was just really strange that it was the Fun 88 one. It
I
had it
didn't
written
notice.
plastered on. I was like, what are you doing? Like, get it off. Like,
Get it off.
I just found it really strange that the owner of the club would have the wrong coat on.
Right, I'm going to end it on this question from Josh. He says, hi lads, hope you're well. Great one on Saturday. Question for all of you. With the sad passing of Terry Venables, it got me thinking about Euro 96. If he'd have stayed on, do you think England would have won the World Cup in 98? Stephen Best.
Now then. No. I don't. Oh, yeah, it's a weird one because we didn't, before Euro 96, we didn't play a competitive game from San Marino in 93. When Stuart
Hong-
Pearce,
On it.
we beat them, but we didn't qualify for the World. So we didn't qualify for the World Cup in 94.
San Marino scored in the first 20 seconds. Or
Pearce
something.
put a really
God.
underhead back pass in.
98 was France, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
I remember sitting watching that game, right? Honestly, that San Marino one, and we needed to win. I think it was 8-0.
Well,
maybe?
yeah, Ian Wright
Yeah.
might got a hat-trick.
And the San Marino scored within 20 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember a can of LCL. I'll never forget it. Was crunched up at the time. Just flew past me head with my dad, obviously. And he just threw it at the telly. They're absolutely shit. 1-0 down in 20 seconds.
But like, so we
Doesn't
didn't
sound like your dad.
we didn't play a competitive game.
And our Keegan was dead
I
aggressive.
wonder where. At least we know the answer of where Decker gets his reactions from, eh?
I'm really calm, me. Sorry, Bess.
So we didn't play that World. Graham Taylor got pumped. Venables came in. Didn't play the 94 World Cup. Didn't have to qualify for Euro 96 because we're hosts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Didn't play that one against Switzerland. Scotland, the penalty changed everything. The McAllister one, obviously hammered Netherlands. That was lush. Terrible against Spain. Should have been knocked out. Would have been with VR. Great against West Germany. Germany in the semis. So even then, Euro 96, which I love Venables. Don't get us wrong. This isn't me having a go at Venables. We didn't play very well in the tournament that he's really well fated for, and he left in. Who was manager? Glenn Hoddle.
Hoddle
came in.
didn't he?
We played Sweden away first qualifier. I think we got beat 2-1. Andrew Sanderson played. Might have scored in Solna. It's not to be late 96.
Well, Hoddle was, for me, the one thing I would like to say, I'm not saying he would have won it, but he would have took Gaza.
yeah,
and-
Venables
and-
would definitely take
And,
Gaza.
and for me, I still think that was very harsh.
I
by
was
Hoddle.
listening to.
And I didn't like how he hung back out with dry. either.
Listening to the Gary Neville podcast and the one he does with Jill Scott and Roy Keane and
Yes, it's really
Brady.
good. Stick to football.
Oh yeah, that one you probably heard what I'm going to say. When Hoddle apparently at the start of the 97-98 season said to Gaza, "I need to stay fit this season. I want you to just this season be a pro basically." And when they went away to Malaga, the big 30-man party, whatever it was that went out there, he's like wrecked playing golf and that, and Hoddle's like, I kind of, I've told him. And Gaza he was good. He was still great in 98, but he was a big Borough Everton years getting towards Villa and all that. Was he Villa?
Yes, he
Definitely
was.
Borough and Everton.
Yeah, definitely Borough and Everton. Yeah.
But would Venables have? So let's say with the qualifying group, we won to qualify for 98. So I think we'd have won that. The group, we beat Tunisia. So we'd have the same group.
Would have been.
Beat Tunisia 2-0. Beat Colombia 2-0. Got beat off Romania 2-1. Finished second in the group because Romania won 2 games. I think they got beat off Colombia last game. No, Tunisia drew them. Second round, Argentina. If we'd have beaten them, it would have been the Netherlands in the quarters. If we'd have beaten them, it would have been Brazil in the semis.
Then you've got to be there.
And then if you beat them, it's France in the final.
Yeah.
So the Netherlands was The Ajax '95 team, basically.
Yeah.
De Boer,
Bergkamp,
obviously.
yeah.
Van der Sar in goal, about 10, whatever he was at the time. Like this team, Kluivert was unbelievable. That's someone he was for a long time. This was a really good side. Brazil in the semis, it's Roberto Carlos, Ronaldo, Denilson.
Well, Ronnie was the boy.
It was that Brazil team, the kit and all that, the advert. France in the final, Stefan Kivas up front, I think would have beaten them. But now, drawn apart, it's Zidane, Lizarazu, Thuram, Deschamps. It's that France team. It was
They were brilliant.
They were probably the best 3 teams in the world at the time.
You think of our team as well, you know, like football them was unreal, you know. I mean, of course I love it now, but like there's just players, man. Like you mentioned some of them players there are just the greatest sight for me. That era of football.
Batistuta.
Yeah, Batistuta.
Ortega was mint at the time.
Ortega,
Carlos Roy in goal.
Ironically,
I love Veron. I love Veron.
Veron, yeah, I think maybe
the
you should have beaten
things.
Even like
Obviously, we
Denmark
know what
had
happened,
Laudrup
but
I think I love Venables, don't get us wrong, and I've just spent the last 20 minutes or so saying here's why he wouldn't have won the World Cup. I don't think it would have done.
I'm with you. I think we probably would have done better than we did, but I don't think we're winning it.
I think if
Huddle upset far too many players.
Well,
Didn't
Beckham
take
was a big
players
thing,
If you watch the Beckham
that should have
yeah.
went and stuff like that.
Obviously, you know how much I
Goes
love
to
him.
town on
And,
Huddle, like,
I read
doesn't
his, obviously read his book years ago, and he said,
But everyone says the same,
He's a
unless you were one of his
Yeah.
special chosen ones.
Well, he ended up getting pumped because of his
Elaine Drury.
it wasn't because of that.
No, he said
It was
it was-
because he said that disabled people were paying penance for misdemeanors in past lives, which
How-
is totally forgotten about now. He's still on telly and this. It's like
Yeah.
that's terrible.
That
thing
was in
to
the
say,
football
that.
press conference. I don't even know how that even come up. That how could he be asked that question? Like, why is he saying that?
It's
I
an
just-
outrageous thing to say.
Unbelievable.
You kind of
Like religious beliefs, wasn't it?
It's not just that. I mean, there's religious beliefs, and then there's like saying disabled people it's their fault.
But then you look at Gavin Peacock comes out with stuff like that every other week.
I know, but he's been marginalised as well. He's like, it's not as if he's on England. He's not England manager.
But he would have took Gaza, so that's why I would.
I think you would have
The only reason I would have liked
you
him
would have
because I
taken
wanted
Gaza.
Gaza.
You would probably have used Beckham and Owen a bit more.
Yeah.
Because Owen didn't really get going for England until the Romania game.
Well,
Second
he
game,
didn't. He didn't play backs because he scored against Colombia, which helped a lot, obviously.
He
That
scored a free kick. Him and
so-
Darren Anderton won it. Scored that one.
God, Darren Anderton, Jesus.
Good player. Him.
He was when he was fit.
Well,
was fit,
I'm going to end it there, boys. We've been going
I'm
for...
talking about England in the 90s. How I am.
I know.
I know.
I was. You know what's
He's
really
off on
funny?
one.
I was going to wear that top the 98 one. I don't know why, but I got it out and I went,
The white one?
And I went, oh, it's not Venables anyway. Like, and I've got my U96 one, but I've been eating quite a lot recently, so I put it on and I was like,
Heavy meals.
I put it on and I was like, nah.
One thing with
Not the
Venables, like what people have been saying about him afterwards is like just how like nice a bloke he seems to have been.
Oh, class.
Like Shearer, Lineker, Gary Neville, I've seen just Tottenham, QPR, Palace, the clubs he was at.
Great
He's
singer
just
as well.
really well.
Singer.
Really well thought of and like to enjoy yourself. He owned a nightclub. He just like Lineker.
Definitely a bit shady though, wasn't he?
When he had it in Barcelona, it's like you've got to wear sunglasses otherwise. UV protection and all that. But like Venables, it was Lineker on their podcast, the Lineker Shearer Richards one, where he said he was the only manager I was like actually friends with. Lineker said that. He said like normally with a manager he's your boss, so he's got his bit. He says Venables will go on the drink. You get a phone call, Venables, I carry fancy a pint. I go on then. I mean, obviously it's like this is like what late 80s, early 90s, but they just seemed to be a good bloke. Like a sad loss.
I didn't really
He
do
was
80, like.
England
Yeah,
time, didn't he? That was
Been bad for a long time as well.
we're
Apparently.
all drinkers.
Thanks everybody who
culture?
has joined us live tonight on our YouTube channel. If you are watching along, just like the video means a lot to us. Become a subscriber. It costs you absolutely nothing to do that. If you're listening to the audio as well, just give us a 5-star review as well if you have enjoyed it and made it this far in the podcast. If you want to give an extra bit back, it is just $2.99 a month. Become a member. You get early access to videos. You right?
Terry Venables, right? It's got to
You thought, nah.
Remember when you were a bear and watching football, Mark would be in his 20s, when it was like you're watching the
Get
game.
Alan Dixon in either night, like aren't you? I've never had a chance to get one back yet.
That's why I'm getting him in now. You'd have like Trevor Brooklyn would commentate. Terry Venables getting interviewed all the
Al
time.
Hansen.
Ray Wilkins. Well, no, there's those three for me because like really like nice, venerable Cockneys, and we haven't got that anymore so much. Like,
Cheeky chappies.
it's all bloody Northerners now.
Yeah.
Get the Cockneys back on the telly. That's what I'm saying.
Like I was saying, if you want to become a member, it is
Dennis
just
Wise in.
$2.99 a month. You get extra videos, you get early access to videos, you get access to the Telegram group as well. We're off. Enjoy the match tomorrow night, and we're all off to go and put Mark to bed. Past his bedtime. See you later.
Hold on.